So before we continue, let's introduce ourselves.
This is Riad Chaudhuri. I am a student, an unemployed one to be exact. I'm a student of Dhaka University. I'm an undergraduate. I'm in undergraduate program. My major is marketing. Actually,
Hmm.
I'm doing BBA, and
Hmm.
I am at the last year of my BBA degree. I live in Dhaka right now for my study purposes.
Hmm.
I like reading. I'm also a writer. I write fictional stories. I'm also trying to be fluent in speaking, just like you.
Hmm.
I'm not that fluent, but I'm trying. So that's it. I have nothing in particular to say.
Yes, yes. All right. Shall I introduce myself?
Why not? I'm very excited to hear about you. And I see a lot of books behind you. As a bookworm, I
Hmm.
really appreciate when I see people like you.
My name is Raushan and I'm from India, Bihar. And I run this YouTube channel where I talk about English learning, books, and I record conversation like this. And I'm also unemployed like you. I won't consider myself employed because the place where I'm working, it's a private sector job and it doesn't pay well. So I'm about to quit that and go online. So it's going good at the moment, and I also love reading, watching movies, but I'm not a writer. I really love to know what you are writing these days because writing is something which I find really fascinating, and I'm not able to write. So please tell me, what kind of things do you write?
I read stories mostly. Um, I write thriller stories to be exact.
Thriller. Nice.
Yeah, when I was in my second year,
Hmm.
the BBA degree consists of 4 years in my country. I don't know about your country.
Hmm.
So when I was in my second year, I thought to myself that I can also write. Riyad,
Hmm.
you can also write. So why don't you give it a try? Because how did I gain this confidence? I used to read when the pandemic happened. I started
Hmm.
reading, and after that, when going through these lines by those writers, I started my literary journey with Dan Brown. To be
Hmm.
exact, before that, I used to read self-help books.
Hmm.
So when reading Dan Brown, I found it very fascinating, and
Hmm.
I said to myself, someday I can try it for myself. I started writing in English,
Hmm.
and but I was not very good at writing in English. Let me tell you
Hmm.
what. I can write non-fiction write-ups in English. That's
Hmm.
fine. I can do that. I am very good at it. But
Hmm.
when it comes to doing literary works, I don't
Hmm.
think I am in the right mind, or I don't have.
The
I
right
have
words.
resources. Yeah.
Hmm.
You got it right. So
Hmm.
I then said, what is wrong with writing in Bengali? It's
Hmm.
not a crime. You
Hmm.
can be good at both of the things. And there's when I started writing in Bengali, and I must tell you, the journey was quite depressing and
Hmm.
demanding because writing is not a piece of cake, and I still feel that I don't get more enough motivation from outside. So my locus
Hmm.
control is internal. So
Hmm. Hmm.
and I am still doing that without any uh, enthusiasm or motivation or drive from the outside. I don't know
Hmm.
how long I will be able to continue this, but I
Hmm.
am very passionate about writing. I must tell you that. But at the end of the day, it does not pay you well in my country. I don't know about your country.
Hmm.
There are Chetan Bhagat, Arvind Vinod. I know they are very prolific writer in your countries, very established. But in my country, it's not a feasible option to earn by writing. And
I
I
think it
think,
applies to everywhere. It's not just in your country, in my country. If you are choosing writing as a career, you have to put a lot of effort and it doesn't pay you right away, right? So it has always been there. Like if even if you read some classic books and their story, you will realize that how much they had to struggle just to make a living.
yeah,
So
so
you must keep that in mind, and you can do it as a hobby. And if you are doing it full time, then good luck with that.
see, that's the problem. I don't want to end up poor because of my writing, because that
Hmm.
will motivate me to uh, see writing as a crime. Because when
Hmm.
I don't want people to say that you choose writing, that's why you are poor.
Hmm.
I don't want to. Uh, I don't want them to humiliate me for my hobby. So that's
Hmm.
why I want to do that. I also want to be as good as uh, in my professional life. So I will.
Hmm.
I'm trying to at this stage of life. I'm trying to keep them apart or
Hmm.
start go both way.
Yes, yes. By the way, have you watched any movie or have you read any story from Satyajit Ray?
Yes, I read Satyajit Ray's Feluda. You
Hmm.
might have heard of this detective character. I have read his
Hmm.
books, and there were many adaptations of this based on this character, and
Hmm.
I watched some of them. I also
Hmm.
watched Bomkesh Bokshi, read
Hmm.
Bomkesh Bokshi, and watched the film movie adaptations of this character. And there was another Kolkata,
Have you
another.
watched Apu trilogy? The Apu trilogy?
Yes. I watched it. Though I
Hmm.
didn't read the book
Hmm.
by Bhushan, but I watched the trilogy. It was
Hmm.
wonderful
Okay,
experience.
tell me, is Satyajit Ray famous in your country? Because I don't see many people in my country watching his movies a lot. Because most of his movies are in Bengali, right? Like I think almost 90% of his movies are in Bengali.
Yes,
So
yeah.
is he popular in your
So,
country?
uh, not as much as he is in Kolkata. Uh,
Hmm.
it is clear that he is famous for some of his work, not all of his works. For example,
Hmm.
I mentioned earlier that his character Feluda has become a quintessential detective in this subcontinent, or to be exact,
Hmm.
in the Bengali speaking part of this subcontinent.
Community. Hmm.
Okay. Uh, yes, and he is also known for, as you said, Opus trilogy. It was
Hmm.
it touched people's heart, and after that,
Hmm.
he is also known for another movie which is Hero Rajar Deshe. I don't know
Hmm.
if you watched it.
I haven't. I have only watched Apu trilogy and some of his single work, but I can't recall the name.
Okay. Uh, so these are the things that he is famous for in this country. But Satyajit Ray, even though his ancestors were from Bangladesh, he was not. I think he was not very much interested in uh, coming back to his roots, and he became fully engrossed in Kolkata, and the Bengalis in Kolkata love him very much.
I have no idea about the history, so I think we can skip that part.
Okay, no problem.
Yes, yes.
So, how
And
was your experience? You also watched Opus trilogy. How did you find the movies?
I love them. I watch them. Actually, I watch a lot of movies. So when I was in class 11th standard in high school, I started exploring world cinema, and I had never heard of Satyajit Ray, even though he was from my country. He's from my country. I had never heard of him. So as I was watching a lot of movies from the globe, some of my friends, internet friends, recommended me to watch Apu trilogy, and it was in black and white. So I thought, no, I should stay away from it. But then I made up my mind to watch, and I loved everything about it. Like you need to be in a good space to watch that movie, especially with social media and all. You are always distracted. So it if you have good attention span, you can watch it and you will love it. And I actually love that movie. So I'm actually planning to rewatch them, and because I have completely forgotten the first part, but I do remember the second and third one clearly. And the journey of Apu, I loved it, and what he became, and with his personal life, his educational background, everything really fascinated me. And you can see that raw India. Like whenever you are watching Satyajit Ray's film, it is just so raw, right? Like there is something really beautiful and still if you know what I'm trying to say. Like if you it feels really natural if you watch, even the actors have done great job. and and because of the interest in cinema, I do want to watch like all of his work. Let's see if I'm able to do it this year.
You should watch his movies because he was ahead of his time
Exactly. That's the right word. Ahead of his time.
when the movies were produced and published. People
Hmm.
were he was severely criticized for some of his movies, and people in India were not satisfied with them.
Hmm.
Ultimately, ultimately he stood for what he believed, and
Hmm.
no, he had won a Oscar in the at the end of his at the when he was near to his death.
Hmm.
And
And I think also, that industry has done a lot of great work to save his movies. Like they cleaned them, and now we have good print. We can watch them digitally. So they have done a great job. And yes, you are correct when you were talking about that we didn't appreciate his movies because see, in our country, or I'm not sure about other part of the world, but in India, if you make a masala movie, it will make a lot of money, people will watch, so people don't appreciate art movies there. Like nowadays, because of the internet, people are taking more interest into it because they can watch it digitally also. But masala movie works here great. They have great box office collection and all, great market.
the Bollywood craze is always present in this in my country too. And
Hmm.
talking about Pushpa, Animal Farm, sorry,
Hmm.
Animal.
Animal.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
I didn't watch this film. I know it's
Hmm.
very violent. I didn't watch this film. I actually uh, I stopped watching films mindlessly after, I guess, when I was a student, first year student of BBA. I
Hmm.
am very picky about my movies nowadays. For
Hmm.
example, I last night I was through a binge watch journey. I watched
Hmm.
three movies.
Hmm.
I think you may have also seen this movie. The first one was Eternal Sunshine. Uh, I didn't exactly remember the name. It was the lead stars were Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet. Do you remember the name of the movie?
No, no. But I have seen the first one, Eternal Sunshine or something. I have watched that.
Yeah. Yes, just that one. After that, I watched The Reader, which is also by Kate Winslet, and
Hmm.
I don't know the male character's name. And
Hmm.
after that, I watched Tom Cruise Collateral. So
Sorry, which one?
Collateral. It's a it
Hmm.
was a movie. It is a movie from 2004, and
I
by
haven't watched
Tom
that
Cruise.
one. I will check that out. And yes, what about your reading? What reading background? What kind of books have you read?
Uh, I try to read every types of book, every books from every genre, but I must say that I am little bit biased. So I
Hmm.
prefer thriller books
Hmm.
before every other genres, and but I am trying to change this habit because I don't want to be left in one genre. For
Hmm.
example, um, I have been reading this philosophy book. I, the title is Existentialism for Dummies. It's a
Hmm.
uh, textbook. I can say it's a textbook for a specific branch of philosophy. So
Hmm.
I finished it. I am very proud of it because it was not very easy to read. Uh, I
Hmm.
have to learn many terminologies and go through the thinking of uh, visionaries like Schopenhauer, Heidegger,
Hmm.
Kierkegaard, Nietzsche. So I'm very proud of it. But right now, I'm reading Sidney Sheldon's The Doomsday Conspiracy. Have you read it?
Hmm. No, no, no. I am much like I spend a lot of time reading fiction, especially classics. So I haven't tried thriller much, but I'm trying. Let's see if I will ever try because there are so many books that I want to read, and I have just so little amount of time. When you
Yes,
are working.
it's a common problem for us, the bookworms.
Mhm. Yes. At the moment, I'm reading this series, Stormlight Archive. It's a 5 book series and it's fantasy, and I'm enjoying it more than anything. I'm reading that third part. You might have heard about Brandon Sanderson.
Yes, I heard the name of the writer, but I
Hmm.
haven't given a try. Uh,
They are so good.
it's
Don't try to read that. You will not enjoy anything else unless you finish the whole series. Like I wanted to read them in free time, but now I'm carrying that book everywhere. Like I'm reading it even at the moment I should be studying for my exams. I'm reading fantasy, so it's not good.
it's just, one of the pressing problems for us because uh, we I do want to read large books, big books, but
Hmm.
I don't get the time nowadays. But
Yes, yes, yes.
I try to do as much as possible, as much reading as possible. But uh, let's face it, we are adults
Hmm.
now, and
Exactly. When you are adult, you have to take care of so many things, right? But
yeah,
when I was young, like I am still young, but when I was in my teenage, I
yes.
was not reading much. I was not reading much. I feel that I could have read a lot. The things like, for example, I love Harry Potter, the movie, the movie series. I love them, and like in 2023 I read all the books, so I was thinking maybe I could have read that book when I was 14, 15, but I read that when I was 20. So you know I was thinking, so how much time I have wasted. But anyway, now that I have
Yes.
started reading, I do give it separate time.
When I was a student of school and college, I used
Hmm.
to do mindless activities. I used
Hmm.
to, I don't know, I used to imitate my friends. I wanted to be popular, so I used to imitate my friends uh, who have who have done excellent in their academics, or who are
Hmm.
popular with girls, who can make crack a joke here and there. So I tried these
Hmm.
things, and I was not in touch with books, but
Hmm. Hmm.
somehow managed to I somehow managed to focus on my studies. That's why
Hmm.
I think I am here now, thanks to my parents. But
Hmm.
I did not get the motivation to do it. I didn't
Hmm.
even know that there is a thing called reading. You can read books other
Just for
than the textbooks.
entertainment. Yes, yes, I know that. I understand that totally. Like, and a lot of credit goes to the internet in my case, because I used to spend a lot of like precious time on the internet, and I wasted a lot of time there. But because of it, I got into reading also. I remember reading manga for the first time. Have you heard of them? Comics, Japanese comics.
Yes, I have heard of them, but I haven't tried them.
Hmm. So that's how my interest returned in plain text. I started reading plain text, novels, and now I do it regularly.
The final question: How, from out of 10, how much will you give me by seeing
10
or
out of
noticing my
10.
speaking?
You read a lot, 10 out of 10. No, no, no. Actually, you are doing great. Just do it regularly. See, because I think you are not practicing regularly. You are not getting to talk to people. Am I correct? Are you talking to
Yes,
people in English?
I don't have anyone to practice with, so I am
Hmm.
practicing alone. I use ChatGPT. I read aloud,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
I try to shadow people. I try to shadow Indian speakers because I like their accent. I don't want to be
Hmm.
sound British or American. I try to,
Hmm.
so that's why uh, follow Indian speakers.
Hmm.
And
That's
this,
great. And if you can find partners, you can do great. Otherwise, even now you are doing great. Just do it regularly, and the practices you are doing it, do it regularly. You will be fine. All right then. It was lovely chatting with you, and hopefully we can do it in future too. Bye.
okay, bye.